What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. We've got our last video before the 24-hour hype stream. We're gonna have tons of giveaways during that stream. Free giveaways that you don't even have to have ever helped the channel out for you to possibly win, so be sure to tune in. But we're gonna have special giveaways for everyone who has helped the stream out since I think around past September. I did a 24-hour stream, but we did special promotions through that, so I am probably going to end up doing my biggest giveaway ever for those who have supported the stream, some special giveaways for only during the stream, and there's a new option for like sponsoring on YouTube, which is similar to Twitch subscription. I'll make sure to give a special giveaway to new sponsors of the stream, but enough about that. You're here for the Curse of the Dark contents. We have a full spoiler for this deck now, and it is pretty excited. I'm gonna link you guys to the Yu-Gi-Oh organization post down below, but Nathan Castro has his own Facebook page here. It's not like I'm doxing him. It's a public page, and he kindly put it that this page, this deck has more viruses than a lady that works a street corner. Family-friendly content. So let's go ahead and get into some of the spoilers. We've already gone over some of the new cards and what they do before. You'll have to look into that yourself, but I have not covered this. This is Duke Shade, King of the Umbra, an amazing card that's basically going to allow you with the field spell to tribute one of your opponent's monsters. His first effect is you contribute any number of dark monsters, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card gains 500 attack for each tributed monster. Field spell will allow you to use one of your opponent's monsters for that. Second effect is important too, though. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one level 5 or higher dark monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So on summon, he's that 1-for-1, and then he's going to be a +1 for getting the effect as long as you have that nice field spell. He has a 2k booty, which makes him really good for the viruses. Now let's get to these reprints on deck review. Let's go ahead and get that. We got Diablos. I think that one was going to be pretty obvious. We got Lich Lord. Remember how hyped this was for Vendreads? It was just silly hyped. If you tribute some of this card, the tribute must be a dark. If this card is tributed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, it returns to the owner's hand. Like, okay, I get it was cute thinking you'd have infinite materials for ritual summons and that it's a zombie, so it has potential synergy, but the fact that it was just so hyped for the secret rare was silly to me. And here's an easy access common. Prometheus, this one should have been somewhat obvious, you know, the king of the shadows all the way back from Phantom of Darkness. We've got Archfiend Emperor. Not the biggest reprint. This one was big though. Caius the Mega Monarch. Ooh, what a hit. This was expensive on the secondary market. It just received a volley of rehype. It's at like $17 or something ridiculous right now. And it seems that whenever Konami's looking at decks like these and putting the strategies together, they end up looking around for what's missing and put it in here. And you're going to see a lot of that in this list. Now, keep in mind, it is the OCG list, but lately, there's only been a card or two missing. I'm looking at you, Solemn Strike, but that was in our special edition, and it was only $3 at the time on the secondary market. People slept, and it rose up. But this is just a nice coolant, and it shows that they're paying attention. Now, I don't think this would be the card to be missing. I'll talk about what I think would be missing, but I actually don't. It's like a 50-50. I also don't think it would be missing later on. This legendary Maju Garzet. Vanity's Fiend is a really good addition. It was already $3 on the secondary market for the Battle of Legends printing, and it's just always welcome to see this card. It's a stall strategy that people are going to use. It's pretty timeless. Billy topped with it all the way back in 2008. Like, it's been around for a decade in the top cut list, and it's just nice to see easy access to this card no matter what. In fact, it'll probably retain value of like $1-ish from the start and just go from there if we get it in ours. Mist Archfiend is just a funny card because when it was secret rare, it was actually worth quite a bit. It's kind of funny on its release, and I always liked this card for being a 2400 potential normal summon, but you were able to ram it into Monarchs is my point. We have Infernal Dragon. This is kind of a funny one. It was released as a Duels Pack Ultra originally. Archfiend Cavalry. Stygian Street Patrol is really nice to see here. Anytime I have a card that I like to use in my fun decks, that becomes easy access. I'm a huge fan of that, and Stygian Street Patrol is exactly that. We've seen it go up a few times in history, so it's just nice to be sure that we have easy common access. Phantom of Darkness, very similar. I believe DZ fused this in his Fluffle Sky Scourge BA deck, and I've always been a fan of fun Phantom of Chaos decks, so it's cool to see this in here. We've got Plague Wolf, which can boost itself to 2,000 attack, level 3. This might come into play in sealed play, and remember there will be a special structure deck event happening for the first time ever for the US release. I'm excited to stay tuned for what that might actually entail. Fiendish Rhino Warrior, it's just nice to see in here easy access once again, a solid downgrade reprint. Curry Bandit, this was an interesting one. I've always liked this card, so it's just nice to see. Tour Guide from the Underworld, it was about $1.65, $1.70 for its lowest printings, and it's just good to see easy access cards once again. I'm really happy with this one. We've got Absolute King Backjack. I guess maybe it's been hard to get at some point. Not really. I don't think it needed it, but it is nice to see still. Reeling Karibo. All right, I see you. We've got the Field Spell starting the spells off that really helps break this deck. Recurring Nightmare is really great to see because there was actually pretty low quantities. The gold was getting bought out. I think it was like at $4. We even have a recent OTS pack 6 version of it, but it's super low quantities on TCG Player. So this is just a relief to see. I hope it's in there. I hope it's not missing, because they could just look at it and be like, oh, we reprinted this very recently. We don't need to put it in here. It's kind of the card I'm 50-50 on here. Allure of Darkness is another card I'm 50-50 on, but it was like around a lowest of $5. We showed this recently on Market Watch for the common, and then all the other versions were like 7+, but I really hope it's in here for everybody. We've seen it in structure decks in the past. Starter deck Merrick, for example, but it's been a long time, and I would love to see this continue to be easier access. I know we had a recent reprinted, I want to say Destiny Soldiers, but I really do think it should be in this deck for everybody. Card Destruction's kind of funny. I wonder if it gets an errata or something like that. Foolish Burial Goods was really good. I see what I did there, and it wasn't even clever. But it was actually at $5, which kind of surprised me. I thought it had gone back down after Spiral Hype, but it seems to be hanging around that $5 mark. So I hope those secrets go down so I can have a nice holo playset of the originals. But I'm a fan of this being common in here. It's definitely huge for rogue decks. Everybody had been wanting their hands. $5 wasn't the hardest barrier, but free and included, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Boogie Trap, I don't know what you're doing here. Fires of Doomsday, this card actually back in the day used to be $1.50 on a lot of buy lists and nobody would know. Got reprinted in Destiny Soldiers. It's had its days, but it's still a fun card. Prohibition is nice to see in here, actually. It gets hyped once in a while. And then we get to the viruses that OP mentioned. Oh, and thanks for that sub or follow on Twitch. We've got our new virus, Grinning Grey Virus, Eradicator, Crush Card Virus, Deck Devastation, Full Force Virus, rest in peace VTRFS. Dark Light was a very interesting one because that got super hyped recently, and it's already fallen back down towards like $3. But it's good to see in here, and it just shows Konami's like paying attention, looking around, and thinking to the past what hasn't been reprinted and what do duelists want to see in here. Trap of Darkness, I actually hadn't read until this, but it's got a heavy opening restriction on its activation. Mind Crush is nice to see in here. Good cards that become good in different formats, recently most known for trying to counter evenly matched. Rise to Full Height, cool Omega Tricks, good to see. Curse of Darkness, I think it's just in here for the darkness name. We've got Sinister Yoroshiro. I like this card on release a lot. I overestimated it, but good to see in here as well with that hottest. So there you go. That's the full deck. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Market Watch layout real quick so you guys can see some of the prices currently as the OCG release kind of full spoiler happens. $3.45 lowest on Darklight. You know, it was hyped all the way to $6, but I don't know if it saw actual sales there. Here we see it at a much more reasonable price for the holos for people who want to holo out their deck, and it might continue to fall on this announcement. Caius, what was happening with you, man? $10 market price, but $17.84 lowest, $16 lowest. Great reprint there, great hit. Recurring Nightmare, Secret's just out there, and the common, as you see, only 16 prices here, and then 24 prices on the gold common, with the lowest being somewhere, like I said, near $4, $3.81. We've got Allure of Darkness, and all these versions are just pretty much up. $4.75 for the old SDPD common. We've got the OP01 common sitting near $5 as well. Just every single version sitting pretty darn high. The lowest being this one with one seller at one copy before it's $5 as well from SDGU. So it's been in a lot of starter decks. Hopefully it is again. That's almost guaranteed value down the road, but a lot of people are going to be ripping these open. Foolish Burial Goods, back in what I'm saying, it was around $5 here, near mint right here at $5.65. Tour Guide, almost all the versions sitting around $1.50 plus for its lowest. You see market price $1.58 here. $1.42 here, so just really nice to get, you know, solid reprints in this deck. It's one of the most solid hype decks in a long time, and Battles of Legend Vanity's Fiend at $3. Good, all-inclusive, amazing deck. It's one of the most hype structure decks of all time, and that's with the recent Dinosaurs, ABC decks. It's really, really awesome to see how much work they put into making the Dark Structure deck cards. It really is kind of the second coming of Dark Worlds. Like, it's going to be good, it's going to be heavily played, and you're going to face it a lot, but yeah, it might not have the biggest impact on such a diverse meta at the same time. What do you guys think of the Structure deck? Full spoiler, I'm a huge fan of the secondary reprint value and how they've gone about it and the obscure cards they've gone after, and I hope it really translates to the TCG, because lately they've done a great job with those Structure decks and bringing them on over pretty much how they are.